Good morning, honorable members. Good morning, Judge.
Good morning, Chair.
Thank you very much.
Good morning, Chairperson. Good morning, honorable members. Good morning, colleagues.
Morning.
Good morning.
Recording in progress.
I was just going to ask, especially to honorable members and the judge in particular, that maybe we might need to consider starting with the filling of vacancies, which might take 30 minutes or less, and then we continue with the subcommittee. I'm not sure that will be in order, Chair of the subcommittee. Honorable Janji. Honorable members, what is your view?
Chair, I think let's start with the filling of vacancies so that we give more time on the JICS to be able to be free and give us their presentation and all that. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. Honorable Breitenbach.
I'm quite happy with the approach, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much. Honorable Judge Cameron, I know it's an inconvenience to you. We're just asking for a shorter period to discuss with this matter. It's just one issue, then we can continue with the subcommittee.
We're very happy. Thank you, Chairperson. We were actually expecting that order, and we will remain available and online to you at your leisure. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Judge. Thank you very much, and to the members. Thank you very much. Has Honorable Janji logged in? Okay, can we just proceed, members? Our members is Ms. Msane is also present. Good morning, Ms. Honorable Msane.
Morning, Chair. Morning, everybody.
Thank you very much, and thank you for coming. We thought that it would be important that members of the panel who served on the panel are part of us so that we can finalize the matter. If I can just do a quick recap, members. After having interviewed the 8 candidates, plus the candidates that we invited who were commissioners for the position of Deputy Chair, we were awaiting, when we adjourned, we were awaiting the results of the screening results from SSA, which they did come immediately after we had adjourned for the Easter recess. The results showed that all members were fine except 2 members. They picked up something on Commissioner Sibanyoni and Ms. Pilile Ntuli. On Mr. Sibanyoni, they pick up a criminal offense that happened 35 years ago. And on Ms. Ntuli, they picked up a judgment. Since we were already adjourned, I asked the concerned applicants to explain themselves in writing. Indeed, Mr. Sibanyoni wrote a long letter explaining himself, which was circulated to yourselves. And then we also invited Ms. Ntuli to also explain herself. Then she did give us a letter from her attorneys confirming that that debt was paid in full. So it's possible that the SSA might not have been able to pick that up. So that also those responses were forwarded to your good selves, And then we further sought the legal advice from Parliamentary Legal Services about the two candidates in particular, and the legal advice was also given to your good selves, and which also indicated that they are eligible to be appointed if the committee so wish to appoint them. That is where we are, members. I thought that we need to take a recap so that we know what happened from the day we last interviewed them until today. Any questions, members, on what I've just said? There seems to be none. I would now hand over to members to indicate their preference or to have a discussion as to their preferences. Over to you, members. Are members on strike?
There are lots of hands,
We
Mr.
have
Chair.
raised hands, Chair. You did not see them. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, my apologies. My apologies, members. It seems as if it's 8:30 in the evening. The way I'm so tired. Then my apologies. Honorable Kenneth Breitenbach.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Before we discuss the preferences, there's just one issue I would like to raise.
Yes.
The failure to disclose, for me, is a problem. So while both of the problems are not massive, a very old road traffic violation and a civil judgment, that's not really the issue. The issue for me is the failure to disclose. If you're a fit and proper person, if you have a well-developed sense of ethics and you're entirely honest, then you would have disclosed those issues. And so I just raise it as a difficulty that I have, and I don't know how other members feel about it. Regardless of the legal opinion and the suitability of the candidates, I have a problem with the ethical issue of failing to disclose. That's all that I want to mention right now. I'll wait for other members to have a chance before I go into who I think is suitable candidates. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much. Honorable Jale.
Chair, good morning, members. Chair, though I really concur and hear from Honorable Breitenbach, I think it's one thing that we need to encourage to our people, that it is important that they adhere to the questionnaire that we give them honestly and fully so. But also, on the other hand, let me say, Chairperson, you know, when I was reading the advice that we got from our legal team, I also thought about that. I said to myself, I must go and check these other small things, like those things of deaths and all those things, because those are the things that we normally, I'm talking about this one, we normally don't check if maybe we have been cleared and all that. You just say, okay, I've done it. I was not able to pay by then, but I'm talking for Ms. Ntuli for now. And then you end up. I don't know. It's on the part of the. It's on the part of the IT. It's not on my side, Chair. My apology.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
The issue is that, Chair, it's a wake-up call to all of us. We need to, even before you can even get into the issues like they are interested in these positions and all that, they have to check themselves. And then also the other one, when I was reading, it says it is something that happened long ago, 30 years ago. Some of the things you even forget about them. It's not that, I think this was just an oversight. I think I'm going to agree, yes, with Honorable Breitenbach, but also saying we can't, for now, looking at the reasons that have been given and not be able to give them a chance and then reprimand them, Chairperson, and also even for other people who are still interested going forward, they need to consider these things. You rather say, in my knowledge, I'm not aware of anything, but I don't know when they are going to, you just become like that. It's just that maybe there was an oversight on that part. But without wasting time, Chairperson, can I just go and in fact propose my names?
No, before you propose names, let me ensure that we are done with the matter first. Let's first deal with the matter without attaching names to it.
Okay.
Then after that, then we can deal with the issue of names.
No, I'm okay.
Thank you very
Chair.
much.
It's not an issue for me.
Sorry?
It's not an issue for me,
Okay.
Chair. Yes, we must just decide together with them. If we take them, we take. If you don't take, it's fine by me.
Thank you, Honorable Jele. Honorable Msane.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Although, yes, it does render a candidate questionable if you do not declare. However, we need to correctly look at the circumstances. I think that we got a very good advice from our legal team that, okay, firstly, Mr. Sibanyoni did not even get the imprisonment, however, and he's also currently serving as a part-time. So that also then puts the buck back into our court to say that for him to be serving as a part-time, was it not a requirement to say that are you fit and proper, you must declare all your criminal records and all those. And regarding to Untuli, I would certainly find it questionable because it was a judgment and a very small amount judgment, but it still became a judgment. And as parliamentarians and as lawmakers, we need to uphold the issue of saying that to have a judgment is never a good thing. It doesn't matter for what. It can be for 20 Rand, but it's never a good thing. However, she also did her best to clear it. Some things, Chairperson, we know that it's very difficult, especially as an African Black person living in society today, to be able to service all your debts because circumstances do change. However, we just need to appreciate that we as parliamentarians and as lawmakers, we got the advice to say that it does not render the candidates unsuitable. Although, yes, Breitenbach is correct, we need to promote transparency and honesty. However, the legal advice that we got, I think it should surface. And also the one of Mr. Sibanyoni of 1980, it's a very long time ago. Yeah, it's possible. And he's also serving currently as a part-time commissioner. Thank you, Chair. So I would say we disregarded, noting the legal advice that we received from our legal team.
Sorry, Honorable Msane. Can you, what are you saying? Can you repeat what is your recommendation?
I'm saying there's someone with their mic on or something. Can you hear me, Chair?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. I'm saying, taking the advice from our legal team, yes, we need to encourage transparency and answering the questions honestly, but the legal advice that we received from our legal team does not condemn our candidates from being appointed, and let's take it as that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Msane. Honorable Swart.
Thank you, Chair. I think the other speakers have largely covered me, but I appreciate the fact that Advocate Breitenbach has picked up on this issue, and I was also going to raise the issue. The failure to disclose is a challenge. With Advocate Sibonyane, he is already a part-time commissioner. He has applied for condemnation, and we know the law does not disqualify either candidate. So it is a bit of a challenge. Should their names be put forward by any of us, I think there could be a question mark, although they are not disqualified by law. So from my perspective, it is an issue we do need to consider, but it doesn't disqualify either of the candidates in my view. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. Honorable Horn.
Yes, thank you, Chair, and good morning to everyone. Yeah, I don't want to belabor the point, but to say that the fact that there's no legal hurdle standing in the way of selection or recommendation of candidates does not mean that we as a committee are not entitled and quite possibly obligated to take into account all relevant information. And in that light, I add my voice to the Honourable Breitenbach in saying that, to me personally, I would think it is these specific matters are relevant to our decision. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. Honourable Chanji.
Thank you very much, Chair. Morning, colleagues. I just to add a few things, Chair. I think the first point to make is the critical importance of the issue that is raised by Honourable Breitenbach. And I'm making this point because I've spent a lot of time in interviews for magistrate. We place a premium on the issue of integrity and credibility of judicial officers, but also in this case of those who are going to be taking responsibility on behalf of the Chapter 9 institution. I think it's important that the principle of the matter is embraced by all of us. It's a very important issue that must never fall through the cracks. And therefore, Chair, with that, you will always have a serious issue